Hi, you guys. It's been a while, and I'm sorry about that. I really am. I don't even know how to start this. Third time's a charm, I hope. But I appreciate those of you who've sent me some messages over this time, and I'm sorry. I know when I bow out, I just kind of go dark, and I just, I'm just absent all of a sudden, and it's just who knows how long it is. But and I've been wanting to do this video for months and months and months and months and months. Even today, it's like now it's dark. I was gonna do it for months, and today all day. And it's dark. And I don't even know what to say. So, I think of these things to say, and then time moves on and I don't end up doing it. And so tonight I was like, oh, it's dark already. No, let's just do it. Let's just do this. I have no exact game plan. I have the same sort of mind ideas that I did before. But I just don't want to promise anything. I don't know that maybe this will be my only video for a while. Hopefully I even post this, right? But maybe I don't do another video again for a while. Maybe I do another video the very next day and then not for a while. Maybe I do a video in 3 days. I don't know. I'm hoping that it will be more regular, but I just can't promise anything. And I don't want to have a schedule per se, even though in the back of my head I kind of want to continue what I started. But I don't want to promise that because I hate disappointing people, but I know that that's kind of inevitable in all sorts of ways. But anyway, let's get on with this. So I've really wanted to get back on here for a multitude of reasons, but one reason most importantly, and I wasn't planning on making this my first video back, but because I procrastinated so long, I do think about you guys a lot, and I have really appreciated the support that you guys have given me and your patience, because I know some of you are probably still, you'll watch this video and you'll be so supportive. So just know in advance I'm really grateful. The message that's really pertinent to me and that I really want to share with you, because I care for you the way you care for me, is just that I know you know that our world is crazy. This is just what's on my mind and heart, and when I think about these things, I think about you guys. So maybe this doesn't relate to some of you, but I still want to share it with you because I think it does relate to all of us. But our world is so crazy right now. That's the message, which all of you probably know. But it doesn't even matter if you're talking about foreign wars or politics or the most obvious things that are going on that are like crazy. We're almost sadly just used to that kind of stuff, so it doesn't even like surprise us the way it should. And that's sad. That's a huge problem in and of itself. But we can tell just on a daily basis how much our world has and is changing every day just by interactions that we have with another human being at a department store or at a fast food place, or around us, people. And this has been happening for years. I understand that, but we're losing our mooring. We're losing our solidity, we're losing our anchor, and it's chaos. I am not one of those people. I've told you guys a lot about my travels and how much I love other cultures and other people. That's a huge thing for me. I'm not one of those people who's like an American supremacist type thing, like that America does everything right and we're the best and yada, 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 yada. Okay? I don't feel that way. But on another level, I do believe that the Constitution was a gift to this land and this people from God. I do believe that. I believe the Constitution is a gift, and I believe that it's something to be fought for, and I believe that it's true and it's good. It hasn't always been used in the best ways, and we haven't always lived up to it, but I believe that God gave us that as a standard and as a blessing. And I've heard, comments on other YouTube videos and other things that I watch. A lot of people in a lot of other countries do look to the United States and are even praying for us, and what the decisions that we make do seem to affect the world. And again, that's definitely not a prideful thing for me. That was actually kind of surprising to me and humbling that other people would pray for us. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. And that just shows me more that the Constitution is a gift, and that it blesses not just Americans, but in some one way or another, if it's used properly, it can bless other people. So the world seems to be in chaos. All of our countries seem to be in total turmoil and chaos. And what's coming up for the United States on November 5th, this upcoming election, has been on my heart and mind for a long time, a really long time. And I'm not entirely a political person, but I do feel a responsibility. But I don't want to be like divisive or anything like that, so that's not the purpose of this video, to go in head on into politics. I'm going to say a few things on a different video that's also not supposed to be divisive, but I do want to share a few things because just what's been going on in my head the last few months. But the purpose of this right now is all of us. We can see it in our associations. We can see it in our families. We can see it even within ourselves. We can see this chaos. We can see it around the world. And things are changing. I don't think you have to be religious to see that some really intense things could really collapse some things or cause even a heightened degree of chaos. I don't think you have to be religious to see that at all. But religiously speaking, there are a lot of prophecies in the scriptures that are coming true. So this is written thousands of years ago, and I mean, it's jaw-dropping what you can see if you're following it. If you read and you are just seeing what's going on. So I'm very sorry, because really this message is the 11th hour and the 59th minute. And I feel guilty about that. I do. But hopefully, whether you're religious or not, hopefully you can, what I'm trying to convey to you is our world is in chaos, and it may not get better. No matter who wins in this U.S. election, we as a people, we're really struggling. And I don't mean just the United States, I mean all of us. And I hope you guys can prepare, even especially what's going to happen on November 5th, no matter what country you're in. And if it doesn't turn out to be intense or whatever, don't let that lull you. Things are going crazy. And I hope you guys can prepare. First, most importantly, spiritually, I really hope that you can, even if you're not religious, I hope that you can look inside yourself and just your morals and your character. Just working on that. Just working on your morals and your character. And how you treat others. Number one. And number two, then also temporally, the spiritual part, again, even if you're not religious, but there is a parable in the scriptures that talk about the wheat and the tares, and it also talks about the 10 virgins, and 5 had oil and 5 did not. And both of those parables have something to do with the apocalypse, Armageddon, the end of the world. Like, I'm not trying to be a fearmonger or anything, but things are in chaos, and I don't know if they get much better. But first, it has to be with us. It's not our politicians, it's not our government per se, it's not our family, it's not our jobs, it's not our bosses, it's us. So first, we have to be the people that we think is the best kind of person to be. Those of you who do believe in God, we've got to get right with God, and we've got to be right with ourselves and right with our fellow human beings. So that's number one. And then number two, temporally. And again, I'm so sorry. It's the 11th. It feels like that, okay? Again, I'm not trying to fearmonger, but we don't know what's going to happen. Just like with what happened in 2020, with the illness, the world completely changed within 24 hours. I mean, seriously, within 24 hours, all of a sudden, some stores you couldn't get to, within at least 3 days, stores were closed. You had to, there were certain rules there, all these things changed. Some jobs, you weren't going back to your job. You didn't know that at the time, but you weren't going back. You couldn't even go to church. You couldn't go, to change your tire. The world changed, and it happened so quick. Okay? Please, please know that was God's mercy to allow us to see that, but not have it be the end, but allow us to see that. Don't forget. Don't forget. That can happen again. And what happened then, all of a sudden people go to the stores because we have to eat to live and we have to drink. So I'm just saying, temporarily, whatever you need to do in the next few weeks, and regardless, I'm not saying the end of the world's going to come, but we don't know how things are getting affected, and we don't know if it's in the next few weeks or a few months or whatever, but just there's a direction. Get some food storage. Get some water storage. You have to have those things to live. You can't eat dollar bills. You can't, you need some clothing if something happens. Like, we've had some hurricanes that have been terrible in the last few months. All of people's possessions are all gone. You need something to survive. Food, shelter, clothing. You need those things appropriate to the environment you're around. You need those things. You need them on hand, and you need them as much as you can to have extra to survive something that, could be for months. Who knows? Please prepare. Part of that preparation, that temporal preparation, food, shelter, clothing, and community, your people. You need to know people around you. What happened in our country, in North Carolina, with Hurricane Helene, a lot of people died and a lot of people suffered, but the benefit and how they started to come out, even just the tiniest bit, was because they had a community and they had people who they knew. So that community is food, shelter, clothing, community. No, food, water, shelter, clothing, community. Food, water. Just please prepare yourselves. Even if nothing crazy happens in the next few weeks, you'll have that on hand. So obviously the type of food I'm talking about is non-perishable stuff that will last quite a while. I care about you guys, and I just want you to be prepared. And again, I'm sorry. I just didn't share any of this sooner, but I do hope that you guys we'll take it seriously and just have something. Something's better than nothing. So I've had a 72-hour kit. I don't have it with me. Okay, this is true, but I used to have like 72-hour kits just on hand all the time. I do have food storage, even in my circumstances. Again, it's not with me, so what does that do? But I believe that God will see and bless me for my preparation as best as I can. So do the best you can. But it's not with me. But where it's at a family member's house, if something does happen, they'll be blessed by that food storage. And God will take care of me in another way. But I've had that for years and years and years. And it's food that stores for 20, 25 years, even longer, really. So water is something that I need to prepare. But where I have that stored at a family member's house, there's a neighbor that I know fairly well, and they have a huge swimming pool, and they've kind of prepared so that if something does happen, their swimming pool can become a source of water for them, as well as they have gallons of barrels and stuff like that. So, but you shouldn't rely on other people for your preparedness. It's just that when calamity happens, hopefully you have created some bonds and you have some people to get you through that. And that can be a blessing for the talents that you don't have. But hopefully you've prepared enough so that you can bless other people. Anyway, just do the best you can. Obviously, in the circumstances that I'm in, it's hard too. So, just do the best that you can. Again, it may not happen in 2 weeks, but we don't know what's. All we do know is that, well, again, we can see history repeating itself. So even if you're not religious, you can see history repeating itself. And if you are religious, you can see prophecies and things being fulfilled. And you and everybody can see what's going on, like the chaos that's happening. And the things that just don't make sense that those that are elected and stuff that are doing, and it just doesn't make sense. Why is it happening that way? So, do people have your best interest at heart? And if they don't, then, well, one, you need to exercise your right to vote to put the right person in there. But on top of that, if they don't, well, you've got to be prepared, because the government's not going to save you. They're not. So it's first up to you, and then secondly, hopefully you do have a community of people around you that are good people, that you guys have some talents that can be shared to help yourselves get through it. Anyways, I love you guys, and I'll try to do another video. I certainly will. So, but I don't want to make any promises. Let's look at it as if I do another video, great, another one, and then another one, great, oh wow, great, That way, if I don't put the expectation, then it will always be a good thing rather than a disappointment. I love you guys. Please be prepared and as best you can, okay? We'll talk to you later. This is not about fear either. But those who are prepared shall not fear type thing. So, talk to you guys later. Okay? Be strong.